Hey everybody, this is Tracy here with another edition of A View from Tracy's Point, and we are here to talk about Verzuz last night. Not so much the Verzuz itself, but the drama that ensued afterwards. And then Ron and Ernie Isley, the Isley brothers, have a new song out that dropped after the Verzuz ended. And so you guys, if you watched it, you know that, for the old heads like myself, you know that the Isley brothers originally started out, it was like 6 members. It was the 5 brothers and then one other guy, Chris Jasper. I know his last name is Jasper. And so now it seems that they're down to just the 2, which is Ron and Ernie Isley, and so they're moving on, carrying on the legacy. And then with Earth, Wind, and Fire, none of the original members of Earth, Wind, and Fire are part of the group. Most have passed on. Remaining members are Philip Bailey, Verdine White, and the drummer Ralph Johnson. And I believe all of them have been with the group since 1972, so they are the oldest members that are still performing with Earth, Wind, and Fire. And so the Verzuz was really good. Steve Harvey hosted. I don't remember any other Verzuz where they had a host, but I haven't watched all of them. But Steve Harvey thought he was one of the band members. He was like so excited. And I actually was in my car this morning going to pick my daughter up from somewhere. And so I caught part of the Steve Harvey show. And of course he talked about it. And, how he just felt so good and so happy, and how, these guys are his friends in real life. And he was just happy to be reunited with them. He said he hadn't seen Ron Isley, I believe, in like 5 or 6 years. And so it was a good time to be had. Of course, because it was one of the older groups, it didn't get the numbers that some of the younger performers or performers from the 90s have gotten, where they've gotten over 1 million views on that night. I think they may have capped out at around 400,000. So the controversy that ensued, because I know I was at my mom's house, with my family. It was Easter. We had Easter dinner and we was watching the Verzuz together. And so I was the only one in the house, y'all, that was like, I wonder if the Isley brothers are going to sing any of R. Kelly's songs that he wrote and produced for them. And so my nephew was like, man, they should, but I don't think they will. And I said, well, you know what? It's been other Verzuz where they've kind of snuck in some R. Kelly stuff on the side. So we'll see what happens. And so I left my mom's house, and from the drive from my mom's house to my house, I had to missed it, y'all. I came in, turned on my computer to finish watching, and all hell had that broke loose. There were people that were upset on Twitter. Black Twitter always got something to say. So evidently, Ron Isley or the Isley brothers did Contagious and Busted. And so on the Contagious one, they said that they cut the part off where R. Kelly comes in at the end and, does his lyrics. And on Busted, I don't think did R. Kelly sing on that song? I don't think he was on that song. But once again, he wrote and produced the song. So, we got the typical banter going back and forth on Twitter where, people were like, oh, he's canceled. Why are y'all supporting him? What's wrong with y'all? He's in jail where he belongs, and just yada, 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 yada. Okay. And people seem to don't realize that R. Kelly has not been convicted of a crime. Like, this man has no criminal history. He is being detained without bond. He has not gone to trial. We haven't heard a lick of evidence against him. And so why they have these opinions and want to throw out the R word and the P word when none of that even applies to his case, but people going to do what people going to do. So when I got up this morning, the Shade Room, they had posted, I guess they're kind of neutral because they made the topic seemed like they were hating against R. Kelly, but then when you went through the screenshots that they posted, none of the screenshots were like really, really bad or offensive like some of the ones that we had seen on Twitter. And got down into the comments, and this was this morning, I haven't gone back to check, but for the most part, 80 to 90% of the comments under that post were basically like, he wrote those songs, okay? He produced those songs, and he has every right to be acknowledged. And then, people come up with the, they need to do a versus R. Kelly versus R. Kelly. There are people that were saying, I'm never canceling R. Kelly. I love his music. Why do I have to not listen to his music because of what he's accused of? And then there are people that are just like, I don't care. I'm listening. Okay, I can separate the man from the music. I'm going to keep listening to his music. They were celebrating the Isley brothers. The songs that R. Kelly did for the Isley brothers are a part of their arsenal or a part of their catalog. And so why can't they do those songs? And so the debate seems to continue. Like, people are still trying to be heard. And I don't even understand why it has to be back and forth, because we're all adults. We all can make a choice in what we want to listen to, what we want to spend our money on. And I think that Black people in general are the last people that need to be around here talking about canceling somebody. As much as we have been canceled throughout history, to be jumping on the white man's bandwagon, because we know this all stems from the Me Too movement, right? To be sitting there on that bandwagon talking about you're going to cancel this person because they worked with R. Kelly and they won't, speak out against him, or they won't stop playing his music, or they won't, take his music offline that they did with him, I think is just really crazy. So for the most part, Twitter, I think, was probably 50-50, but when it was posted on the Shade Room, hours after it was posted, when I looked at it, it was pretty much 80% of the people were saying they didn't care, get over it. They had every right to play those songs. So then the other news is they announced that the Isley brothers were coming out with a new song, and I had seen Ron Isley with Julius Darrington. You guys know that Julius is R. Kelly's A&R person. And so Ron Isley and him were together over the past week. I believe they were in Los Angeles because that's where Julius lives. And so they had been working together. And I was like, oh, Ron Isley's, getting back in the studio. So I knew music was coming. So I finally heard the song that they released, the Friends and Family. And I was just really, really surprised because it sounded very much like some R. Kelly music. And it sounded very much like the R. Kelly sound. And you can hear an R. Kelly song regardless of what the song is about and know that it's R. Kelly. And so when you listen to this song, if you haven't heard it already, and it's called Friends and Family, and it's like a backyard barbecue type of song, you're going to immediately know that this song has R. Kelly all over it. And so it has been revealed, okay, if you didn't know already, that he wrote the song and produced it. And so I don't know if this is something that he was working on, before everything went down, or if he'd been writing and producing while he's locked up at the MCC Chicago. But I'm here for it, okay? I usually don't download music, but I'm going to download this, to support the cause. And I hope that they have much success. And I think that when word gets out, people, we're going to have that debate, people are going to have something to say, but I hope it doesn't hurt the sales of this record, because it is a fun record. And someone had posted on Twitter, I can't remember who it was, but had basically gone on Spotify, to see if he was listed as being the writer and producer. And so it has, performed by the Isley brothers. Snoop Dogg is actually on the record. He has a piece in there. And when it got to writer, that's left blank. And when it got to producer, that was also left blank. So I don't know if that was intentional, because they don't want to give him credit, or if it was strategic, not to put that on there, or not for whatever reasons. Maybe, because if he is the writer and the producer, he is entitled to compensation for that. So it could have been like a strategic or legal maneuver that was left blank, or it just could have been people being shady that it was left blank. But anyway, if you go and you look for the writer and producer of the song, that information is left blank. And so here is the article that appeared on Rolling Stone. And it says the Isley brothers have enlisted Snoop Dogg for their first new song in 4 years, titled Friends and Family. Friends and Family is a breezy party starter with a thumping bass groove and some slick guitar work from Ernie Isley. The track finds Ronald Isley celebrating the most important things in life. And then it's quoted, it says, although we didn't have much, we still had each other, he croons. And what we went through it together. We stick together through thick and thin. I thank God for family and all of my day one friends. While Snoop Dogg slides in with an equally charming verse, Friends and Family arrives with music video directed by Eric White, which finds the Isley brothers hosting a small but joyous house party while welcoming a few extra guests via Zoom. Snoop appears via video chat for his verse, while other virtual attendees include Selena Johnson, Lisa Ray McCoy, Vivica A. Fox, Kim Whitley, and Sherry Shepard. The Isley brothers released Friends and Family on the heels of their Verzuz episode with Earth, Wind, and Fire. The Isley brothers haven't released any new music since 2017 when they dropped their collaborative album with Santana titled Power of Peace. In 2007, the Isley brothers released a holiday album, I'll Be Home for Christmas, while the year before that they dropped their 30th studio album, Baby Making Music. So guys, go ahead and check out Family and Friends. It is on YouTube. I watched it, about 10 times already. I love it. I think it's going to be a summer anthem at the barbecue. Okay. And, support them and support the fact that they continue to support R. Kelly as he's going through what he's going through. And remember that R. Kelly has not gone to trial. He has not been convicted of a crime. And in America, you are innocent until proven guilty. Not proven guilty because somebody puts together a fake we can't even call it a documentary because we know that the stories were not vetted, that they just allowed these people to, come on and say whatever they wanted without any proof. And so the proof hasn't been provided yet. We'll get that when this case eventually goes to trial, which is supposed to be in August of this year. And then one more thing before I go, the women are in their feelings, okay? Because Jerronda Pace put up some post on her Instagram where she's basically like, stop asking me about my relationship with R. Kelly. I'm not talking about that anymore. And I'm sitting there like, girl, who is asking you about your relationship with R. Kelly 2 years after the fact? I don't even think anybody cares at this point, Jerronda. And then I thought it was interesting that R. Kelly has released new music, and Azriel still haven't released any of these songs that she told us was coming. So we know that she is probably going to be in a stupor over the next couple of days. And Angelo is probably kicking dust right now. So anyway, go ahead, leave your comments below after you listen to the song. Come back and let me know what you think about it. Leave your comments below, rate the video, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And until the next time, I shall talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.